never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's up, Fleece? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing like I do every day, man. Glad to be alive, thankful to God and Jesus, yeah. And to you and everybody and the fans, I'm thankful.
Now remember, make sure you like and subscribe. Go to the website, get your gear, www.hustlerspirit502.com. It'll be in the description or in the comments. I want to ask you some questions, Fleece. Some questions that I want answered, and some questions that people been asking me to ask you. The first one I want to ask you: do you still miss prison, and why, if you do?
Yeah, I do. What I miss in prison is people in there is more real. That's just like on my birthday in prison. Everybody know me. So when my birthday come up, I get greetings from over 200-300 people giving me gifts, Christmas cards, birthday cards and presents. And everything in there is free too, for real. You know, your meals and...
Not your freedom.
But the only thing we ain't free to do is go to clubs and stuff people do out here. Have a woman. Other than that,
That's a
I
lot.
done been out. No, it's not. I done been out here, and in this crazy society out here, and that's why I'm gonna call it a crazy society. And I done seen what goes on out here. You know, it's hard to even get a relationship out here, man. Everybody out here want to fight. Girls want to fight the men want to fight the girls. People, kids fighting the mamas fighting the kids. It's just a big war. It's a crazy thing out here that in prison, we done already fought through all that. You go on to walk in prison, everybody know how to be quiet and how to respect each other. You know, out here in the streets, it's crazy. It's just, other than the ability to go where you want to go.
And do what you want to do.
And you never be able to do that, what you want to do.
You can do more out here than you can in prison.
Yeah, you can, but other than that, man, prison smokes us out here. It's...
You really feel that way?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think you feel that way because you spent more time in there than out here?
No. Man, when I finally... I got in a situation now when I got to fighting, it just a wheel turned. I fight them, then they fight me for fighting them. Then I fight them for fighting me, and it just keep going. But when you get a chance to lay back, when you got your TV, your PlayStation, you got your music, you got weed, cigarettes, you got plenty of food and stuff. Hey, it's a dream, man.
You talking about it's a dream?
But the only thing that mess it up is the people who runs the prison when they want to mess with you, the guards. You can be relaxing. Shake down, get up, strip off, spread your butt, cough. And then, you know, they start dumping a lot of people with mental attitude that comes out of this society out of here. They start dumping them in the penitentiary instead of putting them where they need to be in some sort of mental institute. And now all the prisoners is like, man, it's like a crazy house now. And so prison is like a crazy house. It's crazy out here. And I'm just gonna be truthful. People ask me, man, how you like our society out here? You spend 40 years in prison. You free out here with us. How you like what we got? Man, your society is corrupt, dirty, filled with hypocrisy.
Prison is too.
Filled with even your churches.
Prison is too.
Go to your churches and see how they dress are. How the girls dress when they come to church. People going to church for money, man.
You sound like somebody institutionalized.
Nah, I'm saying like somebody that done seen the truth over the lies. See, the lies they put on TV about society, just like Donald Trump, I'm going to make America great. How you going to do something God couldn't do? How you going to do what a prophet couldn't do? All the wise men, all the religious people, and all the money they put into it and the wars they fought to try to make the world better. Nobody can do it. No government can do it. No agencies, no society. It is what it is. It's going to the end, to destruction. Period.
Come on, let's back up because
let's back up.
I wanna make sure that everybody understands that your perspective is based on you doing 40 years in prison, which was over half of your life. So, over 75% of your life, pretty much. How can you tell me anything positive about prison? How's that possible?
Well, I can tell you this. First of all, I'm going to back you up. My perspective ain't about me spending 40 years based on that.
It gotta be.
My perspective is based on me knowing the truth, running into the truth. You know, where lies is at, splitting through all them lies and seeing the truth, what's actually there, right? And that's what I see, what is actually there, what is actually in this society.
Are you going to answer the question?
What is the question?
How can you tell me anything positive about prison?
Because I've been there.
For how long?
40 years.
More time in there than
I
out here.
tell you about prison because I actually been in prison.
There's nothing positive about prison.
It's a lot of positive stuff.
No, it's not.
Prison.
It can't be.
A lot of positive stuff.
When you hear them doors shut, all the positivity got to be gone.
You don't lose your rights when the door's shut.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. As the Supreme Court of the United States has already said it, that these inmates' rights do not stop at the front door.
They lied to you.
No,
your rights
did
did
not.
Stop when you went in there.
No.
Your right to jump in a car, go shopping,
That is
go
privilege.
to a restaurant.
We don't.
Your freedom.
That's not a right. That's a privilege. See, in prison, we ran into that too. In prison, what the guards can take from us and what they can't take. Right. See, we went through all the laws on that. What is a privilege? Right. It is a privilege for us to have basketball courts in prison, pool tables, PlayStations, cable TV, even a TV and a radio is privilege. It's not constitutional or right where they got to provide us. The 3 meals a day, that's a right. The right to be secure in our cell and free of violence and all that is a right. The right to be free from cruel and unusual punishment is a right. They cannot take. They come in our prison. They can even take our church, but they can't stop freedom of assembly to the freedom of religion. They can't stop that. We have certain rights that now the gun part they took that because we prisoners. Now, other than that, we still have basic rights, right? Search and seizure. We have a right to that in prison. The guards got to have probable cause to come and search us now. You know, and just like they do citizens out of here. You know, you just can't you got to have a probable cause for it, right? And we got a lot of rights in there, but we know we got privileges. Now, out here in the streets, it's a privilege to buy a car. Privilege to work where you want to work. Privilege to eat what you want. go to different restaurants. Them is privilege.
You know, you just did what a real criminal does.
And that is?
Up here talking about rights and privileges. Let me tell you something. If you want to pull the Constitution out every time I ask you about prison, then you go ahead and take that with you. Cause them little 4 or 5 things you just said that you have the right in prison does not amount to the rights and privileges out here in the free world.
I didn't say
nowhere near.
I didn't compare it to it.
Okay,
I was comparing.
They can't beat you or kill you, and they still do all that anyway.
True, yeah, and when they get caught, they get punished.
Okay,
just like they would out here.
Okay, and the fact that there's no women. Don't you feel like in the free world
that is not a constitutional
I
right.
didn't say it was. I didn't say it was, but you still missing out on everything.
Look.
When you want to watch TV, what you gotta do?
Turn the TV on. That's it. Just turn it on.
So everybody got a TV?
Now check this out.
No, I'm asking you. Does everybody have a TV?
No, everybody don't.
Oh, okay. You got a TV now at home?
Huh?
You got a TV now?
Yeah.
How many?
2.
You had 2 in there too?
No, you only have 1.
Oh, you can only have 1.
Because you only have 1 area.
But that's a privilege. That's not a right, right?
Huh?
That's a privilege. They don't have to let you have TV.
You don't have to have 1. They can take your TV.
Oh, okay.
But they take yours, they got to take everybody.
Can somebody take your TV at home?
Huh?
Can somebody just come in your room and take your TV at home without breaking in your house?
When I say take it, I mean not keep it. They give you the options to mail it out. It ain't no I take it.
No. What they're saying is they can come in there and say, you cannot have a TV, right?
Huh?
They can come in your cell and say, you cannot have a TV.
Right.
Can somebody say it in your house?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, even out of here, if you want to go that far, shit, the point of it is we have laws in place. We know. The Bible even go there and said the law made nobody perfect. The laws ain't got nothing to do with perfection, making people perfect or nothing like that. Laws is in place to try to prevent certain things from escalating, right? It can't stop nothing. We know that. But my point is this, is that I seen what I see out here in this society out here, the nastiness out here, the foulness, the attitudes, even in the workforce, the workplace, even with co-workers, on jobs, and the envy, and the people backstabbing, and all that stuff they do out here.
You have all that in there too. You have the same thing in there. Except the privileges are gone. You don't really have privilege.
Man, I'm saying out here in this society.
Tell me what's out here that's bad that's not in there.
What's bad in there came from what's out here. It came from her to get to her.
No, they was sent there. They was sent there because they was being bad out here.
This society out here is crap. I don't care what nobody say. If I was an angel, a God or nothing, I would do exactly what the scriptures say they're going to do, is destroy it in a time set forth.
And the prison.
And all of it.
So you run to religion every time we have a debate.
I'm going to run into the truth.
Everything you're talking about.
Whatever the truth. Look, let me tell you. I'm glad you put it like that. Because check this out. Every time we debate something, I run to religion. Let me tell you, that's where it starts. That is the root of everything. Religion is the root of everything, the creation of every problem, every sin, every law, the root of all that starts in the religion. You cannot speak of anything existing now without going religious through to the root. If you want to just speak on things halfway in, halfway all that, you'll never know the truth. There's a difference between the truth and all the truth. And so You know all the truth, you go to the root. And it's like when they talk about blacks and slavery and all, they go to the beginning.
Okay, you done since today's Sunday? You done with your sermon?
Man, it's not a sermon.
Answer the question. Tell me something positive in prison that's not in the free world.
Oh.
Because what ex-inmates do, especially when I was younger growing up, they would come home and they would tell you what they thought was cool about prison. They never talked about none of the bad stuff. I give you credit, you do. But they didn't talk about nothing bad. Everybody used to welcome them home and give them money and buy them clothes and all this stuff, make them feel good about being gone to prison. You really shouldn't feel good to be about being gone to prison.
Man,
you shouldn't come home being rewarded. You shouldn't have win.
You know, I'm glad you spoke like that, because you're speaking like a man spoke in the prodigal son. I'm going back to it.
No, like a man that's never been to prison. That's how I'm speaking.
A man that
and don't want to go.
That was given money from his father.
Well, I know I ain't speaking like him then.
Squandered all his money.
I know damn well I ain't speaking like him.
Bro, being locked up, all that. And he come back, and as soon as daddy seen him, he threw him a celebration. And the kids is like, why? Why should you celebrate? Look what he did. Celebration wasn't on the fact of what he did, but on what he wasn't doing no more. And the fact that he done freed himself from that. That's what the celebration was all about. Him being reconnected, you know, from going from negative to positive. And it's something that all families should, yeah.
You shouldn't be prison, rewarded for that.
You should, when somebody's coming home and
you don't do nothing but go back.
No,
they don't do nothing but the percentage is high as hell.
Well, that's the percentage.
They don't do nothing but go back.
But we are not, see, that's the thing that got the bad law out. How you thinking? People thinking that they are able to foretell the future. You are not. Even statistics are lies. Statistics can say this every year. It's at this time every year the weather don't go over 62 degrees, and it might be like that for 100 years. But sooner or later, it broke a record. It ain't 62; it's 82 now.
They don't say every time.
No, I didn't say every time. I said sooner or later. Well, every time it happens.
Well, people know statistics is not a guaranteed thing.
No,
but the numbers gonna be
the statistics on people going back to prison. Yeah, true. They going back to coming out here. It's like a system out here designed really to get them back. You know,
you got to do something to go back though.
Man, you don't.
Most of the time, you got to do something to go back.
No, you don't.
So everybody's in there guilty. Everybody that goes back is guilty.
No.
I mean, innocent.
When you on probation, when you on parole or probation, you don't have to commit a crime to go back. Somebody can call your parole officer and say they having a problem with you, and that's enough.
You know what I would say?
That's enough.
You shouldn't have got in trouble to begin with.
Well, ain't nobody crying that. It ain't about consequences. What we speaking on is whether or not a person, everybody in there is guilty or innocent. There's a lot of innocent people in there. I seen one guy in there, God forgive me of my sin. Well, I robbed a place and disguised my voice. All right, give me the money. You know what time it is. Give me that money.
You proud of that too, ain't you?
No, I went on the landlord. And they said, number one, step out and say, give me your money. You know what time it is. I came out and said, give me your money. You know what time it is. They said, no, it ain't him. Then this one guy come out, give me your money. You know what time it is. Dude said, him. Number three, it's him. And I like, this man.
And you let him go down for it.
Nah, yeah, you damn right.
See what I mean? You let him go down for it.
Man, he bragged about it. He was sitting there telling people that he...
And look at the smirk on your face.
Yeah, he actually told people that. Good.
But prison is so positive. Why did you just say, hey, it was me. Take me on back home.
I wasn't in prison yet.
Okay, well, take me to jail.
Man, this is when I'm getting ready to see all this prison stuff. No, I'm not, man. He won't take the credit for that. That's on him. And he was in prison talking about, yeah, man, I robbed this place. And I said, man, he is so dumb and ignorant. You hear me? But they got other people in prison that took the rap from people. Don't even belong in there. They got some that got railroaded. And just like in prison, let me give you something else. Check this part out. Y'all want to hear something more disturbing than anything you ever heard? If a guard come to your cell and said, turn around and be handcuffed, and you let him handcuff you, and he's holding the handcuff, the chain, and say something to make you, you jerk away. And let's say get a little bitty nick on his finger, because you jerked away. They gonna take you to outside court, and you gonna get 2 years added to your sentence for that little jerk away. If you fighting an inmate in prison, and the guard come to break it up and tackle you, and in the process of tackling you, y'all rolling over on the ground and he scraping his elbow or something, you getting an assault charge. You're gonna get 3 to 5 years for that. So I'm telling you, I done seen all the corruption. I done seen it from the White House all the way down to the penal system. We done seen it from the CIA all the way down to the police department. We done seen it through the churches. We seen all the corruptions coming out of the churches. We done seen all of this. And all the political corruption.
I thought we was going to have a traditional interview.
Yeah, we have no tradition.
Well, you going to let me ask another question?
But let me tell you what happened if every one of them was in prison. From Trump to every one of them. If they was locked up, you know what they'd be doing? They'd be giving that butt up. That's what they'd be doing, giving up their booty.
Okay, let's get back on the questions. Let's get back on the question, because you're going to answer these questions today.
Because, what's his name? Trump, as vice president?
J.D. Vance.
Boy, he got some thick hips on him, boy.
Oh, Lord. Look.
Vance.
All right, check this out.
Doing the easy way of the hallway, Vance.
Check this out. Why do inmates and ex-inmates, because it's funny when y'all get an attitude. If somebody says something negative about prison, why do y'all take it personal?
Because we been there.
I know, but why taking it personal? You know it's a bad place.
Well, prison is... prison right now, it's a bad place because I don't care about the renovation. I don't care about how many programs they got going in there. What makes prison bad is the people they got employed, working there, and the inmates that is coming in there. That's what makes it bad. The ones that is coming up first time, they paranoid, they done killed up the society. And I don't understand, how can anybody even step to me on some crazy stuff about a booty support in prison when the people in prison are people that is in her for murdering up society, killing kids, raping, taking your stuff, beating you half to death, leaving your loved ones on life support system, and then you hear about somebody getting up in their booty, and you gonna tell that person, you wrong for what you did.
Hold on. So what you saying is, why are people worried about what happens to criminals in prison?
Yeah, why y'all?
You just said y'all have rights.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do. And them
Okay,
rights
well, they should have a right too, right?
Yep.
Okay,
But we talking more. Okay, let's say if it was somebody that killed your daughter. Mama, that man that killed my sister, they just said he got raped in prison. What do you think Mama gonna say? Who did it? He shouldn't have did that. Booty man shouldn't took his booty. Booty man, why you do him like that? And what about the girls out here, you black women out here, that these men be beating on, stealing, cheating on, doing all this crazy stuff to, leaving you for dead, stealing your money, all this, trying to chump you off, then he gets locked up. Mr. Big Cheater. Then you hear about him and cheating because he got a man. So they passing him from one man like he tried to do his girls out here in the streets. And you got a problem with that? You want Charles back? You want Charles? No, it ain't Charles. It's Celine. You know, he done changed his name from Charles to Celine. And you feel and Booty Man gets blamed for that? Look, I like booty support. You know, when you locked up, and I like I said, I went through a lot of fighting and stuff. You know, and I stayed tensed up all the time. My nuts stayed heavy. You got somebody gonna try to booty support me, and y'all gonna tell me not to take that relief? Yeah, I want it. And it used to make my day. It was like, man, I got addicted almost. Like people get on crack, man, just booty, man. Every time I get angry or frustrated, I need some booty. Somebody gonna give me some.
All right, I got another question.
Give me some booty.
I got another question.
Booty, man, I'm sick, man. And when I get it, I'm happy as all.
Why are you so distant from your family now?
Well,
in your opinion,
I'm distant from my family because my family is distant from me. And their reason for being distant from me is because they felt like I stayed in trouble. I wasn't living according to their expectations. You know, the way that, you know, like most of my family, they workers. When I say workers, I mean they done been through military, they done been through retirements, they work some of the best jobs in America. I got nieces that lecture professors. That little website, LinkedIn, yeah, she runs that. Almost getting Women of the Year. I got one niece got 8 college degrees. I got a nephew that is a president of a bank. I got people, and so they feel, and I got sisters that work for the corrections department. I almost did 18, 20 years working for the police and stuff like this. And so they feel that my behavior wasn't suitable for them, you know. And everybody got them type in their families where a lot of them in the family think they better than the other ones. If you don't live the way I want you to, then we gonna cut you off. And I don't care about all that. It's in our families. We got assholes in our families. And everybody got somebody in there that's this.
So
your question was, why am I so distant? I answered, I'm distant from them because they distant from me. Would I like to be with my family? Sure. Would I like to? My sister just had a birthday, April the 8th. You think I ain't remember that? But I ain't go nowhere near it. My brother's, he dead now. His was March the 12th. I know all their birthdays, everything. But and it's said that I can't go around them. You know, and it's not because I don't want to, it's because they may not want me to. And from the way that they have treated me, and throughout my life, I wouldn't want to go around. And so, really, I'm fine. I don't need them for nothing. They don't need me for nothing. And, you know, all that I love you at a distance, that's in effect. And so
was you expecting them to support you for 40 years in prison?
yeah.
That doesn't even sound realistic.
See, yeah, it's realistic because here's the point. When I went to prison, I was a child. And I keep forgetting that. They keep looking at me like I went in prison as a grown man.
You had 10 years, though.
10 years, which I could have got out in 13 months.
I know, but you didn't want to get out, right?
I went through a situation where I couldn't even read or write. My family wouldn't even come and visit me. So that sets me off right there.
So you pointing fingers at your family now?
Yeah. Well, they can do what they want to do. I accept my own blame. I'm to blame for everything I done did. It ain't my mama, it ain't my daddy, it wasn't God, it wasn't the devil. I made a choice to do all the things I did in my life.
The justice system didn't offer you any relief either. So.
I made the choice to do everything. Now, they made a choice to hit me with the consequences they hit me with, which a lot of them was unfair, right? The consequences, the punishment they came with. But I like this. I'm going to stay real, man. And whoever want to stay false, go ahead and be that. But I'm going to be real. And if you don't want to be around me, I want to be around you.
What was you running from out here in society?
Because
it sounded like you was running to prison, away from something out here.
No, I wasn't running no prison.
That's what it said. To prison.
I wasn't running to prison. I didn't even have prison on my mind. And so I'm telling you this.
You was stealing cars, man. You had something on your mind.
Man, I did more than steal cars, man.
That's what I'm saying. You was criminal. You had something on your mind about jail or prison.
I didn't have prison on my mind or going to jail. You don't think about going to jail. You just don't care. You raised up in a society where you get to the point where you just stop caring.
Oh, well, say you stop caring. Don't say you didn't think about it.
Believe me, I didn't. When I say I didn't think about jail or prison, even going, I even thinking I ever be in one, I never did.
You never thought about it? You never thought about I could get in trouble?
Never, ever.
That's kind of crazy.
I was crazy.
No, you still are.
Yeah, I am. A little.
You still are crazy.
I'm a lot better, though, but that's just me, man. That's just the life that I lived, and I've been in that state of mind, man. That's why I'm able to relate to people in many state of minds, because most state of minds you've been in, I've already been in there, lived in there, and shied away from it. But I'm thankful, man, that no matter what this world came at me with, no matter the punishment, the dark days of my life, them dark hours, and all the torture and punishment and all the fighting and all the simple stuff I did in my life, covered in sin I was. But they didn't keep me. They didn't keep me. You know, and that's what I feel good about. The fact that I could not be held by none of that. On being gay, I can't be held on that. It is something that is impossible for me to live the rest of my life as being. You know, I can experience it, but I can't be it. I can't stay it. You know, and the criminality part of me, you know, I'd have been a criminal, above criminals, but I ain't no more. You know, the trying to shape and mold me into being something I wasn't born to be is what it was about. I was covered in corruption and sin and filth. I was filthy, but I ain't no more. And so, and that's what makes me feel good. If anything I have ever achieved in my life is that right there, where I haven't been able to stop doing things that the world tell me I will always do. I'm prove you wrong. I won't. But I tell you what, I'm doing good. Got a clothing line out. People loving it. The people that talk bad about me, I forgive them. Sure, I wish I can hug them, cause they're making me rich, and so keep talking. So,
what about what would be your vision of a perfect life if you could do it all over again?
My vision of a perfect life starts with
For you.
first. It starts first with realizing there's no such thing as a perfect life. It ain't gonna be. Ain't no such.
You know what I mean, hypothetically.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation.
Okay. Well, my perfect life, what you speaking on, would have been having parents that would had watched over me better.
Meaning
they would have cared more and watched over me.
From what?
From bruises, sexual abuse, all kinds of stuff. And that I would have stayed in school and went through school, and that at an early age, my talent should have been noticed and recognized. One of my abilities.
What was that?
I got a lot of abilities, man. I could have been a lot of things, man. I had a lot of things. I wanted to be a pilot at one time. I like jets, and I used to have a 20/20 vision. I was perfect for flight school and all that stuff. I was raised in the projects, man, and but my perfect life would have been to have stayed in the country instead of moving to the city. Stayed in the country, raised up with a country life.
The rural area.
Yeah. This is good. That would have been not going to prison. I'm not saying that it would have turned out any better, but that would have been what I would have wished for. I wouldn't have wished to have fought all the people I fought and did all the damage I did, man, because it ain't the way, but it happened. It happened. And so I'm out here now in the free world, man, and I'm trying to just live a life like everybody live out here. Just live a life, man. Be peaceful. Try to find something way to contribute to the prosperity of the nation. And to help society, man, in dealing with problems. Because I used to be the problem, so...
So is prison the place to be? Is that the,
Well...
Because you don't want to be there now. With all the positivity and all the positive stuff that goes on in there and having your rights and all that you talked about?
No, I'm just keeping it real, what I feel. What it actually is and what it actually should be is not what I was asked. I was asked.
Well, remember, people are watching. Younger people are watching this, so you gonna tell them. You gonna tell them prison is the place to be?
Man, I'm not telling them prison is the place to be for nobody. The question was, do I think prison, do I miss anything about prison? That's what the question was. It wasn't that prison is better than society.
You said that though.
Yeah, well it is.
See, that's what I'm saying. So how is that even possible? Tell me something positive about prison. That's why I was asking you.
Man,
tell me something positive that's not out here.
Tell me something positive out here.
Freedom.
Freedom, what?
Freedom to do whatever you want.
No, you can't.
You can do whatever you want.
No, you can't.
You can do it. You can do whatever you want.
Here's the thing. Do I want to go back? No.
Why not?
And why would I want to?
I'm asking you, why not? Because you said that's the move.
The hell with this, man. My thing is this. Push come to shove, yeah. But do I want to go back? Hell no.
Okay, why not? I'm asking you why not.
Man, I got more I can do out here than I can in there, man. Freedom wise.
So you regret what you said at first?
No, I don't regret shit.
You had to regret it because you just changed the whole thing.
No, people ain't. Man, it's being misinterpreted.
What is?
This whole conversation. I like where I'm at. I don't want to put myself back in the hands of them people where they got that much control over.
Why?
Me.
You said that's better in there.
No. Hey, you know what?
And I ain't gonna let you say it because it ain't you can't think it. And if you do, it's because you've been in there too long.
Nope.
You institutionalized. Ain't no way you coming up with nothing like, yeah, turn your head around.
Man, you see
look at that head, boy.
Never
big
scared.
Bacon head.
Never scared. I'm scared to go back to it. Hell yeah. Now, who wants to go through that? Prison that got crazy now and but there's a lot of things in prison that is better than out here.
What? That's why I've been trying to get you to tell
me.
No,
Negative.
Ain't no way. So you just saying it because you've been around them people for 40 years.
Man. Them dudes in there, man, anyway,
okay, they get cool. Out, you can still be cool with them. Why be in prison
I don't want
for
to go
friendship?
Man, I ain't trying to go to prison. What I'm trying to say is...
Well, tell people the truth. Prison is not the place to be. People, see, when you ain't got nowhere, see, that's what I'm saying. There's no way you think it.
I think it.
No, see, you just don't want to tell the truth.
The truth is...
I thought you was a truth teller.
I am. But, it is what it is, man. And, do I want to go back? No. Is it better out here than it is in there? Yeah. Because of a lot of privileges and stuff, I can do more out here. You can't just get weed every day in prison. You can't get a lot of stuff in there.
But don't it feel good as a man, as a human being, to not have to ask somebody for like basic things that you could just do out here?
Yeah.
Like you can go cook you can get up and go in the kitchen and cook you some breakfast and cook for your wife and go to the restroom when you want to. I know y'all got restroom in yourselves or whatever too. But it's privacy. Don't privacy mean something to people? To inmates, because ain't no privacy in there, right?
No.
Yeah, to me, that's necessary. You said you walk, when you first walk in, you gotta bend over and make your butthole wink, and everybody's looking at you. Who wants to go through that?
No, look, man.
As a man,
you're right, but I'm saying this. I ain't gonna let nobody out here. I know where I've been. I don't want to go back. And I think it's... When you think about the people that think money is everything, money can buy this, money can't buy shit. When you got over $2 billion and you in jail, hey, it's nothing that can That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of.
I bet you he'll give up that whole $2 billion and come home.
Yeah, he would. But I'm saying,
You talking about Diddy, right?
yeah.
All right.
Him and others, they got other billionaires, millionaires locked up, got all that money, man. Made all this money and locked up.
All of them in there for freak stuff.
And I don't want to be in a thing where if I go back to prison,
You're not going back.
no, I'm not. And but anyway,
Power of the tongue. Remember that.
yeah. And I appreciate y'all listening to me, and don't forget to subscribe and go to the channel, the clothing
The
channel.
website's www.hustlerspirit502.com. Fleece got a collection on there. It's a whole bunch of 500 items over on there now. Go get you some gear. Go get you some.
Yeah, get you some gear.
Some gag gifts.
Hey, I even got a dye. They putting out a dye that was made like me.
It's in discussion, but
Yeah.
y'all take it easy.
Take it easy. Peace out, man. Like, who? I mean, man, we've been with you for 3 years, man. Jesus, we accept you as a son of God and all that. He didn't even know it was him. He said, whoever I dip his bread and hand it to him, that's who it is. He dipped it, handed it to him, and they said, as soon as he touched it, said immediately, Satan entered him. So now, what Jesus is looking at now from the eyes is the devil's there. And he said, whatever you're going to do, you better hurry up and do it, because he ain't got no tolerance for the devil, you know. So, but the point of it is, he didn't know. And then when all that was over, and then it came to him, man, you the one that betrayed him. He felt so ashamed, he hung himself. Now, I'm telling you what. In modern terms, man, you got people walking around now not knowing who they are. And they're like what he said to Peter, man, the devil would like to have you, shift you as weak, man. And then at one part, I still think on is when Jesus said, when the devil came to tempt him, he said, the devil comes and he ain't got nothing in me. That was Jesus once said. He has nothing in me. And I was like, nothing like what? Anger, frustration, the want to get back, sexual, all that. Whatever. He said he has nothing in me. And when he came to speak to Jesus, all that stuff you see in Hollywood about holding a cross up and all that old stuff, he quoted the scripture to Jesus. They was quoting scriptures back and forth, you know, and the word of truth went over. But he didn't stop her. He came back and finished his job, though. But it's a lot of fairy tale shit going on. And Donald Trump. His fantasy, man. Man got a fantasy that he can make something great. We got the most powerful that we heard of is God, the creator. We done read stories and heard stories about how the world done went and God tried to get it back. Couldn't do it. The angels couldn't do it. The prophets couldn't do it. All this teaching of the gospel and the word of God couldn't do it. So they came back with the finishing touch. Here's what we gonna do. Jesus gonna be the last we seen. We ain't gonna interfere in y'all business no more, but if you ain't on board, this is what's gonna happen. You know, that's where they at now with it. So anyway, where I'm at is I'm the first in what I do. And I'm at I have agreements I took up It's been sorted out, but I'm ready.
I'm warming it up before I turn it off.
Yeah. But that's how it is. And a lot of things we saw a movie the other night. Donnie been telling me about my cigarette. This is just a movie, though. It was called Constantine. And this dude here, he's spiritual. He gifted, but he didn't even want his gift. He didn't want that, but the son he was born with. And he goes to be trying to take his spirits and stuff and stop them, devils. When he smokes, he always coughs. When he goes to work, do his little thing, right? So he had a lot of communication with angels and spirits. And I sat there and thought about all that. I'm learning more and more about this stuff that the churches don't teach. Just like people don't ever question it. As far as people go with angels is, they good, they powerful. They supposed to represent righteousness. That's the good angels. They got bad ones too, see. They leave that out. They leave out the part that when Moses took the children of Israel through that desert for 40 years, and when they start running their mouth, man, we hungry, y'all. God brought us out here to kill us. We ain't got no food. They said they was fed food from heaven, angel food, called manna. That's as far as we ever went with it. But now, where I go now is, I add to it. Okay, angel food. So, angels do eat. What if they don't eat? What if they ain't have manna? What if they ain't got nothing to eat? Will they die? See, people don't think about that either. You know, they got to eat to live. Talking about they fed them angels food. That means angels got to eat.
Was it physical food or spiritual?
No, angel food. It was dropped from heaven. It was like a piece of bread.
Okay.
It's called manna. And it's like a piece of bread, and with the way it was cooked, I guess everything was cooked in the bread with it. You know, the vitamins or whatever you need in there. So it's good enough for an angel. Don't make it good for humans, but they didn't like the taste of it.
Who didn't?
The people that ate it, Hebrews. You know, our people was back there running it, man. They ran their mouth hard back there. They the ones that God said was stiff-necked. All they want to do is party, get high, and run their mouth. There was some people back there in the Bible was doing that. And so I wouldn't even knew they was black people until I seen Moses in a dream, his color and stuff and his looks. So I know who they were now, and I know that my bloodline runs back through that. You know, but there ain't nobody to talk about. People talk about chosen people of God. They done chose the Jews. So who's the Jew? You know, got people now thinking Jews is white people. You know, with the little funny hats and birds and stuff. The Bible says the Jew is like a belief. Like you say, I'm a Muslim. A Christian. I'm a Catholic. You know, it's a religion based on a belief in that religion. What makes you a Jew is not your color, but your belief in it. You know, what makes you a Jew. And so, just like saying I'm American. Anybody can be a Jew, in other words. Like anybody can be a Muslim, a Christian, anybody can go. But these people that wants that title, they don't know the worstest people in the Bible was them Jews. They the ones that did all this with Jesus. And then the Hebrews, which was black people. And them Israelites like to talk all about that. Get on God's nerve. The big mouth, the mouth running. Want to do things they way, get high and party. When Moses went up and get the 10 Commandments, that's what they did. They threw a big old party down there, bro. When he came back with the 10 Commandments written in the finger of God, this is what God said, man, go on, man. We throwing down there, man. And they was partying. And he broke it. He broke it. And in the dream, I saw one broken piece up on a ledge in an underwater cave. It was just sitting there. And it was swaying back and forth. The hand, right? It was the prettiest. I could sit there and watch it all day. God just got some good stuff out. But the stuff my eyes done seen, they say, man, you people will give billions to see. Billionaires just to feel, but I done seen it, and what is it to me? What should it be? That's what my grievance is at. What should it be? You know, and everybody talk about what Jesus did for us. God gave us his only son. We gave him ours first. Abraham offered Isaac up, first. And I believe that was done to prepare us for the day he offered us his. But we was challenged and when he pulled that knife back, he ready to take the life of his first, his only son, angel stopped. We were found worthy. Like I said, one man out of all the men in the world will be chosen to, I don't know what they doing up there, man, but it's so foolish to hear all this talk about going to heaven, then they up there fighting. A big thing broke out up there, and so it makes you wonder who's right, who's wrong. Talking about you offering out love, forgiveness of sins, then everlasting life. From what I heard, according to the Bible, that's something we're gonna all get regardless. It's everlasting life, whether in hell or in heaven, whatever. We got it, period. But so a lot of that stuff I've been struggling with, and then I pray to see if the angel. I pray on Sunday to see if the angels is there, and I get it.